The crown of Oyo was not forged in the calm of peace, but in the heart of a storm that refused to be tamed. Before the fire, there was only the cold, bitter ash of a kingdom that had forgotten the weight of its own destiny. Look upon these ruins and see the price of a power that knows no master and no mercy. I am Oren Mila, the one who watches the threads of time weave into the tapestry of the world. I have seen the rise of dynasties and the collapse of empires, yet none have left a scar upon the earth quite like the King of Fire. The walls of Oyo fell long ago in my visions, a prophecy written in smoke and blood. 18 years ago, the heavens split open. It was a night when the air itself tasted of copper and the clouds churned like a boiling cauldron. This was no ordinary rain. It was a sentient storm, a celestial herald announcing the arrival of a force that would change the lineage of kings forever. The sky screamed in anticipation. Inside the royal chambers, the air was thick with the scent of sacred herbs and the heavy musk of labor. Queen Tosi fought a battle of her own, her cries harmonizing with the thunder that threatened to bring the very roof down upon them. Amidst the panic of the midwives, one woman stood like a mountain against the rising tide. Then, silence. A silence more terrifying than the storm. The flames of every torch were snuffed out by an unseen hand, plunging the world into a primordial darkness. And in that void, 2 points of light emerged, not of fire, but of pure, burning lightning. The child did not cry. He simply watched, and the world trembled at his gaze. King Ajaka felt the shift in the winds. He sat paralyzed by the weight of a crown that suddenly felt too heavy for his brow. When Babaliogid entered, his face pale as ash, the divination chain spoke of a path paved with both glory and ruin. The gods had sent a savior, or perhaps a destroyer of their own making. The king looked upon his son, searching for a trace of humanity in those tiny hands. But even then, he was not alone. In the shadows of the doorway, another stood watching. Young Agnew, with eyes as cold as a winter stream, saw not a brother, but a rival whose power was a flame that needed to be either extinguished or harnessed. 17 years passed like the flash of a blade. Sango grew into a man who moved with the dangerous grace of a leopard. He found joy in the heat of battle, his laughter echoing across the training grounds. He was the pride of Oyo, a youth of extraordinary strength who seemed to walk with the sun itself in his stride. But the power within him was a caged beast, restless and hungry. When his blood ran hot with the thrill of the fight, the cage would splinter. It was more than just muscle. It was the essence of the storm itself, waiting for a single moment of anger to crack the world open and remind everyone that the thunder was his to command. In the silence that followed the blast, the horror dawned on him. Sango stared at his own hands as if they belonged to a monster. He was a prince of Oyo, yet he carried the weapon of the gods. Only a Fanjid dared to move, his hand a steady anchor in a sea of rising fear, seeing the king where others saw a curse. From high above, Agnew observed the chaos with the patience of a predator. He did not fear the lightning, he admired its destructive potential. To him, Sango's burgeoning power was a beautiful mistake, a tool that, once broken, would leave the path to the throne wide open for one who knew how to wait in the cold. Deep in the realm of dreams, the warnings echoed. Greatness is a fire that can warm a nation or burn it to the ground. Sango, you are the son of thunder, but the thunder has no loyalty to the earth. If you do not master the storm, it will master you, and Oyo will pay the price in blood and lightning. Sango awoke with the taste of ozone on his tongue. The dream was over, but the reality was just beginning. Outside, the sky rumbled in response to his heartbeat. The king of Oyo was coming, and with him, a tragedy that would be sung for generations. The storm had finally found its voice.